Sancho is now gone from Manchester United. Well, not quite gone, but he has returned to Dortmund on loan for the remainder of the season. In fact, he already registered an assist in just 20 minutes after coming off the bench. Talk about making a statement, huh? Compare that to Anthony, who came on in United's 2-2 draw against Spurs, and let me check my stats here. Oh, he did nothing. He did nothing in about 7 minutes of football that he got to play. Absolutely nothing. Sancho's time at United has definitely been a weird one. With his arrival exciting every single United fan, one could definitely say that he has disappointed in a United jersey more than he has excited. However, now more than ever, it seems that Sancho is dividing the United fan base due to his falling out with Ten Hag. What I wanted to do today is give you guys a timeline of how Sancho and Ten Hag fell out. In essence, to grab a picture of what you guys think and to see who you guys think is in the wrong or who's in the right. There's a lot of news out there, but I think getting a full picture of everything will allow you guys to form a better opinion about who may or may not be in the right or the wrong. And towards the end of the video, I will give my opinions on the matter as well. And boys, before we get into the video, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you do enjoy the content. You guys showed so much support on the last one. I really do appreciate you guys. You really don't understand. Like I mentioned in the last video, boys, video essay coming every single week in January. We're also almost at 1,000 subs, so if we can hit that by the end of this month or by early in February, I will post a video essay every single week in February as well. So boys, leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit that noti bell. With that being said, boys, let's look at the timeline of the Jadon Sancho and Erik Ten Hag Manchester United civil war. It all started when Ten Hag became manager at United, coming off some great seasons for Ajax, including a deep Champions League run where they only just lost out to Spurs. Ten Hag was seen as the answer to Manchester United's long-running prayers. A manager who understood how to play quick, attacking, free-flowing football, who was meant to come in and make a stamp on a United team coming off one of its worst seasons in a while. His tenure didn't get off to the best start as he lost his first 2 games in embarrassing fashion, which made the pressure from fans and the media pile up even more. On top of the inconsistent results on the pitch, Ten Hag was also involved in drama off the pitch as well, stripping Maguire of his captaincy role and eventually shipping off Cristiano Ronaldo after multiple disagreements. To an extent, one could say that this was an effort by Ten Hag to make this team his and stamp his identity over the squad that was full of players from many different managers in the past. After all, this United squad was definitely missing a sense of identity. On the other hand, this really made people question if Ten Hag was the right man for the manager, given that he was falling out with these superstars that he had at his disposal. So amongst all of this drama, how was our main man Sancho holding up? Despite Ten Hag signing United's potentially worst signing ever, Anthony, he still trusted Sancho as one of his main attacking options, primarily being used as a left winger. Before the 22-23 season broke for the World Cup, Sancho racked up 14 appearances. In those 14, he actually started 12 of those games and was able to get himself 3 goals and 1 assist. In essence, it would be hard for someone to argue that Ten Hag was not giving Sancho a chance, given that he actually started in 12 of the games that he played in. But the truth is that Ten Hag's style of play was just absolutely all over the place. This squad was entirely inconsistent, which really set players like Sancho back. Sancho's a player who really benefits from having multiple teammates to play the ball with and play off of. Although he lacks in the pace department, he is able to use his technical ability to set his teammates up. Unfortunately, this was not possible in this United side. After the World Cup, Sancho actually missed a good chunk of games for unknown reasons. As much as United fans and general followers of football knew, Sancho was sent to the mountains in order to collect his thoughts and prove himself useful in the second half of the season. While some saw this as Ten Hag giving Sancho space and respecting his mental health, others saw this as a big red flag. Here we have a manager who has already fallen out with multiple players in the squad, now sending Sancho away. This opened the door for rumors, theories, conspiracies, all based off Ten Hag sending Sancho to the mountains. Upon his return to the side, people wanted to see how this time away from the limelight was going to affect Sancho. And because he sent him away, this was also going to be a reflection on Ten Hag as well. If Sancho does well after his hiatus, then Ten Hag is a genius that allowed his players to get their mind right and focus on football. If Sancho does poorly, then Ten Hag is a fool who completely deprived Sancho of very valuable minutes in his career. Well, Sancho's first 2 games did not go too bad. He came on as a sub against Forest in the EFL Cup and changed the game, allowing United to secure a 2-0 win. He then bagged the goal against Leeds in a crucial 2-2 draw, again coming off the bench. Unfortunately for Ten Hag and Sancho, the rest of the season continues to be an inconsistent mess. Despite a 3rd place finish, there were still question marks regarding Ten Hag's ability as a manager and Sancho's ability as a Premier League winger. In Ten Hag's 2nd season, there was a desire from United fans to improve on last season's finish. 3rd place finish and EFL Cup aside, there was still a lot of room for improvement, and this was a season where everything was supposed to click for Ten Hag, everything was supposed to click for Sancho, and we were finally going to get the best out of a United team that had been suffering for so long. But this is where the problems actually started. After just 3 games into the season, Sancho was completely removed from the squad, forced to train with the under-21s, forced to eat by himself, and not included in a single match day going forward. And what might have caused this? Ten Hag gave a press conference where he essentially was calling Jadon Sancho out.
You have to reach a level every day on Manchester United, and we can make choices in the front line. And so for this game he wasn't selected.
From Ten Hag's perspective, Jadon Sancho was just not performing to his standards on a football pitch. Add to this some disciplinary issues that Sancho was having behind the scenes, and the cards seemed to be stacked against Sancho. However, Sancho was not having it. He ended up responding on Twitter with the following statement, sending football Twitter and the footballing community into a frenzy. From here on out, it essentially becomes a battle of egos, and thus kicking off the Manchester United civil war. Ten Hag says that all Sancho has to do to get back into the squad is simply apologize to him. Sancho claims to not be given a fair shot and refuses to apologize to Ten Hag. But in Ten Hag's eyes, this treatment of Sancho was fair simply due to the disciplinary issues and the lack of performances that he saw on the pitch. At this point in time, you're either Team Sancho or Team Ten Hag. For those who are on the manager side, there's a claim to be made that Sancho has just not been good enough. Going into his third season at the club, Sancho has not put up many consistent performances to write home about. Backing the manager could prove to be more positive in the long run. Add to that a track record of disciplinary issues that spans even Sancho's time in Dortmund, and who's to say that Sancho won't just cause more problems in the long run. On Team Sancho, Ten Hag is a manager who is entirely out of his depth. Having already fallen out with many of the stars at the club at one point or another, who's to say that Sancho isn't just the next target on the list? Add to that the fact that Ten Hag is currently guiding United to one of their worst seasons in their history, and all you have to do is ride the manager out. To this point in time, Ten Hag has not been able to create a style of play that United can simply just stick to. We're not a counter-attacking team, we're not a possessive team, we're not a counter-pressing team. What kind of team are we, Ten Hag? Sancho is an incredibly talented player with tons of potential, and given how much United is struggling from an offensive standpoint, they could really use Sancho on the pitch. Realistically, if you find yourself on a firm stance on either side, you probably just hate the other side. With you guys having a better understanding of what has been going on between Sancho and Ten Hag, make sure you guys let me know in the comments down below who you think is in the right or who you think is in the wrong. In my opinion, there is fault both ways. Blame does have to be put on Ten Hag because he is essentially creating an environment for Sancho where he is designed to fail. We have lacked a single ounce of consistency because of the fact that we do not have a style of play. If Sancho and the rest of the players on our squad had an idea of what we were going to be doing week in and week out, then you could maybe say he is not performing to the standards of my identity of what I am expecting in my team. But there is no identity still, Ten Hag. So how do you expect Sancho to be coping with having to play a different style of play essentially every 30 minutes in a football match and still putting up numbers? And this is potentially why the rest of our attack is also doing so terrible. We don't have a set style of play. We have press, we don't possess the ball in a convincing manner most of the time, and sometimes we're just a counter-attacking team. So how is someone like Sancho able to really shine in a team with so many cracks in it? Now to Sancho. With United being in such disarray, this is an opportunity for him to really grab games by the neck and make the team his. Pick up the ball, make a difference. Don't just pout, don't just put your head down, respond to the criticism and perform. What Ten Hag said in that interview, in my opinion, is not that bad. Add to that the fact that he does have disciplinary issues that people seem to just be covering up. So for example, Dortmund are acting like Sancho has never committed a disciplinary crime in his life, yet there are receipts. If you're the manager of a club and you have this player who's simply not performing on the pitch in your eyes and who is disrespecting you from a disciplinary standpoint, then you're going to say something. You're going to push that player to do better. In my opinion, neither party has really done enough for me to have a firm enough stance on either side. Ten Hag has led United to one of their worst seasons in history, and it's not creating a space for us to have an identity as a squad, and Sancho has just underperformed. Ignoring the stats, just watching him on that football pitch, even though he has moments of brilliance every now and then, on a consistent basis, Sancho has not performed for United. So boys, those are just my thoughts. I find a little bit was just essentially a monologue on how I felt about everything that's going on at the moment. But again, please do let me know in the comments down below, guys, what you think of who's in the right and who's in the wrong. If you made it this far in the video, boys, of course, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video with those that you know. Let's get as many comments as we can down below, boys. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.